I have a cyberpunk short story writing project. I'm going to write 2 short stories, one in Swedish, one in English. Cyberpunk, spirituality, and yoga meet each other. That's the idea. So, as you know, I'm a fantasy reader, a mythological reader. I hope to blend mythology into the cyberpunk world. I think that's totally possible if we think about world building. Why cyberpunk? I have videos about that. You can see them in the links below. And I think that for the modern reader, the world of cyberpunk, unfortunately, maybe, is more relevant when it comes to life lessons and food for thought and the hustle of society, the stress and the focus on production and on transforming the society to AI replacing humans and all that kind of things. I think it's much more relevant to write a story with that kind of spiritual lens in a cyberpunkish world. Earlier, I told you about my general ideas for my short story writing project, and I've been doing a lot of research. I have written before, then autobiographical about my journey back to India, where I was adopted from. A little bit of a different writing project, that one was, because it came all from me and my individual experience, and it's very spiritually, of course, and psychologically as well, but and also a lot of poems and things like that. I also wrote on the fly, so to speak. I had the blog then, and I also had a Facebook page like this, things like I do now, but in a different realm. But I always did it fresh, released things, talked about my project, exactly what I have done. Now I'm a little bit more secret, but not so much, because I'm doing this just for fun. It's a kind of passion project. So I've done a lot of research first before I write. So I've been spending my time to visit places in the Stockholm region, and that is places like train station, harbors, pubs, clubs, watching street life, observing people, observing characters I want to describe in my short story. I'm aiming quite short in the short story, of course, because I want it to happen. So the idea just to have maybe 4,000 words, maybe it will be more, but I will start with 4,000 words per short story, and then I can elaborate on that instead. So I come forward. And the idea I would like to talk to you about today, that is the Buddha story that I'm working on right now. The idea is to have a person who is high up in society but falls down the societal hierarchical ladder. He or she is also actually skeptical to cyberware, AI, and so on, and also is upper middle class. So the person hasn't really got in touch with the crime scene, which is very prevalent in the cyberpunk world, as you probably know. So basically, this person has to face all the things that the person dislikes and likes as well in society. So the idea is that there will be internal tensions within this character, and from that tensions make it interesting for you as well. The idea is also to blend this world with not only the sprawls of how a sprawl in Neuromancer, for example, is, I think, from Boston to Atlanta. We have sprawls in East Asia. I think Hong Kong. I know Hong Kong was made as a role model, model setting for the Blade Runner movies, for example. I have the idea of having a Scandinavian cyberpunk, a moose punk, and to blend it with what I've seen in Europe, but also in India, because there are definitely sprawls in parts of India, even if many of the sprawls are disappearing. Sprawls you could say is extreme urbanization, and it highlights the differences between the rich and the poor. It is seen in people's wealth, but also technology. It's also the major corporations rule society and so on. So that will be a factor. But in a short story, it will be much more limited to this person, which I call Henry at the moment, just a working name. And he is has just lost his job when we start the short story, and yeah, he's facing unemployment due to AI. And I have the idea that something will happen to him, probably an accident, so he will get injured, and from that, he has to implement cyberware, which he opposes a lot, and then he is in the loop because doing that he needs to lend money, and then he comes in contact with a criminal scene as well. So that's just some ideas for my character's background, you could say. And the idea is that he should have a lot of inner conflicts with this. And we have today, I think, all right, we both maybe support and enjoy AI and the technology, but we are also very afraid of what it can lead to. So I would like to put that into a character as well. But what about the Buddha aspect with this Henry, for example? Well, yeah, he understands that there is a lot of suffering, of course, when he goes out into the real world, and that will be something he faces, even if he theoretically have known about that. Earlier in a video, I talked about Hermann Hesse, Siddhartha, and that is a kind of inspiration for my writing, as this project is a passion project. I'm doing it for fun. I think it could be a very interesting setting to put that kind of character in. I haven't seen that yet, so I will try to do that. And when it comes to show don't tell, which is common in all author courses, I've gone a few author courses as well. I will try to do my best to show and not tell too much. Let's see how it goes. Of course, there will be companions to Henry, and also he will come in contact with factions as well. So I'm trying to build a very classic cyberpunk setting to have something to start from. So I will continue to report on my writing project, and Andrew Campbell, who is a follower of the channel, and he is also active on Substack. So Ink and Intent, I think it's called, right, Andrew? And you should follow him because he releases drafts from his writing project, and I'm thinking of doing something similar when I'm coming further into my project. So that could be a great idea to do that. Another way could be to, because you can follow me there, of course, if you're interested. Another way is, of course, to read some things from it here as well. So as you hear, I don't have the intention of becoming a huge author. Maybe I wouldn't do that then. I'm just doing this for fun, and I like to write, and I like to get in contact with like-minded writers and also readers. So if you have input for me, what did you think about my character and his background? Not so much maybe characterization. Now you got more of the psychological aspects of him having a lot of inner tensions. Yeah, I would like to hear your views on my thoughts on that. Maybe you have read about the character you think I should add into the story. It's in the Swedish setting as well, Scandinavian. So if you're not from Scandinavia, I'm very interested to hear what you think is exotic or interesting with Scandinavia. It's easy to become home blind, so to speak, but maybe you can give me some ideas. I'm thinking about a sprawl in Scandinavia will be something very different from sprawl in the United States because it's less urbanized here. We have the nature and we have less crowded. Now this is of course many decades into the future, but I still think that Scandinavia should have a Scandinavian touch with little people and this idea of silent, even shy society. That will be something different, I hope, for the reader. So please comment, please like, please subscribe, and take a cup of tea. And why not write you too? I'm drinking a oolong tea. It's the Chinese one, and Oriental, it's called. Black tone, I think. So take a cup of tea, maybe write yourself or maybe read. When it comes to cyberpunk inspiration, by the way, it's of course the Cyberpunk. I mean, this is almost a branded now, right? Smart move by them. And then have Akira over there, right? Yes. And then we have Neuromancer. So those three. And as you know, I read Philip K. Dick's Why Do Androids Dream of Electrical Sheep, also reviewed here on the channel. So I have a lot of inspiration, and together with that I add the mythological and yogic. Let's see where it ends. So thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.